This is a CBS News Miami special report.
I'm Jim Barry reporting to you from the CBS News Miami newsroom. A helicopter has crashed in Boynton Beach. The location is the 3000 block of South Congress Avenue. That's just north of Del Rey, about 6 miles north of Atlantic Boulevard, south of Boynton Beach Boulevard. This is an area west of Interstate 95, and that area you see right there is where the helicopter apparently crashed right on top of and then went through the roof of a commercial building. We don't know what kind of businesses were operating there, or if the warehouses were occupied, or if it's just a storage facility. That is unclear at this point. We're still awaiting reports on any possible reports of anyone injured or worse. It is a warehouse, we're told, in Boynton Beach. The warehouse, we're told now, is vacant. We don't know what kind of helicopter was involved, where it was flying from or to, and what prompted the issue that caused it to go down. But as you can see right there, the chopper did crash into the roof of that vacant warehouse in Boynton Beach. There are some homes not too far from this area, but the good news is that there was no damage to any residential property. Again, we don't know what type of helicopter this was, if it was a single engine or a dual engine helicopter. If it was a single engine chopper, chopper pilots do train to make these type of emergency landings if in fact there was engine failure. Again, we don't know what might have led to this, but there you're looking live at what's left of this scene right now, a helicopter crash in Boynton Beach. We don't have any information as to how many people were on board that helicopter. We are waiting word from that. One witness did tell a television station in West Palm Beach that he saw the helicopter being out of control, that it went sideways and then crashed into the roof. There was no debris on the ground, according to this witness. There was no fire. So that witness was hopeful that whoever was on board that helicopter might have survived. But again, we are still waiting word from that. The initial call came in shortly after 1 o'clock. And of course, we're going to stay on top of this breaking news. We'll have more on CBS News Miami coming up beginning at 5 p.m. And we are continuing our coverage here on the CBS News Miami stream. Reports of a helicopter crash in Boynton Beach. This location is the 3800 block of South Congress Avenue. It's an area just west of Interstate 95, and this chopper went on this, and we are told now that there are fatalities confirmed in this situation. We do not know how many at this point. Again, that location is the 3800 block of South Congress Avenue. This helicopter went down. The initial call came in just after 1 p.m. Boynton Beach Police and Boynton Beach Fire both responding to this scene. And again, we're trying to find out more information about what kind of helicopter was involved, where it was flying from or to. We did reach out to one airport nearby Lantana. They were not aware of this situation, so we can assume that the chopper did not originate from there, was not on its way to there. And now we look live at some of the fire rescue vehicles that are on the scene, and this figures to be a scene that's going to be tied up for quite some time. Initially, there were reports that motorists were being advised to avoid this area. Of course, South Congress Avenue, a major thoroughfare in that part of southern Palm Beach County. We're unsure about what kind of impact it may be having on traffic, but there you see what's happened there. The helicopter crash landing through the roof of this empty commercial warehouse space in Boynton Beach. Again, the address is 3800 block of South Congress Avenue. We again are trying to find out more information about what happened here. One witness did tell a television station in Palm Beach County that he saw the chopper out of control, that it went sideways and then crashed into the roof. No debris on the ground. And this, now as you get an idea of the vantage point of what we're looking at here, some of the nearby area. Again, mostly a commercial area. Traffic apparently, though, is flowing freely on the street nearby, and so that is good news for motorists. And again, helicopter pilots are trained for the unfortunate and unlikely event that they will have to make an emergency landing. We don't know if this was a single engine or a dual engine chopper, and if there was some type of engine issue that led to this. Of course, those kind of questions will be asked and answered later, but we do know right now, as you see, right now this helicopter did crash into the roof of this abandoned commercial space in Boynton Beach. So we are going to stay on top of this story throughout the day here on CBS News Miami. We have crews on the way there to bring you the very latest information as we get more answers about exactly what happened here. I'm Jim Berry, live from the CBS News Miami newsroom.